What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Destiny 2 Forsaken Exotic Weapon Review video. I know that some of the Forsaken Exotics are kind of hard to get, and some people still don't even have them. Like for me, I still don't have 1K voices, but I do want to go over a kinetic auto rifle that came in Forsaken. It's called the Cerberus+1. Now, on how to obtain this weapon, this is a Forsaken Exotic, so it is a complete RNG drop from any source in the game world, so good luck. Let's go over its perks. So it comes with four-headed dogs, shoots erratic bullets from all gun barrels at the same time. Intrinsically, it is a 360 RPM auto rifle, which means it is the slowest firing archetype. Next, rifle barrel increases range, greatly decreases handling speed. Fluted barrel greatly increases handling speed, slightly increases stability. Full bore greatly increases range, decreases stability, slightly decreases handling speed. And then finally we have spread shot package as its trait. Aiming this weapon reduces the spread of its projectiles. So here's a summary of my thoughts on the perks. So first off, four-headed dog. There are four barrels, so a bullet fires from each of them, aka Cerberus, which is a three-headed dog. That's in like some mythology if you didn't know. But plus one is 4, so 3 plus 1 is 4. Hadoy. It's like having a mini shotgun and auto rifle form, essentially. It's not a distance weapon at all, but when up close, it could shred through all shields in those lower tier adds pretty easily. It's under the slowest firing archetype, as I said, 360 RPM, so keep that in mind when you're using this thing. Next, spread shot package. When aiming, the spread shot tightens. In my opinion, it doesn't tighten super far, like in my opinion, but this is definitely made to be a close quarters and short range weapon. Going over PvE and the PvE side of Gambit, in PvE it performs fairly well. Like, in my opinion, it's not as good as any of the other God Roll legendary weapons you could get, like a Go Figure with Outlaw and Rampage, or like a Kindled Orchid with Rampage and Surrounded. I could go on. But yes, the weapon is interesting in its right, but it gives you the worst traits of a shotgun and an auto rifle. I'm pretty sure it was Error or Indica who tested this, but like, obviously poor recoil control, poor stability, not easy to hit precision hits, and it doesn't even give you a good precision multiplier. So there's other things that kind of give it the worst traits of both of those, but again, I'm not saying it's horrible. It's definitely not an end-game weapon in my opinion. If you were to use it, I would say use it for those lower tier activities, and it seems to be good for taking down enemy shields. Since it does shoot 4 bullets, it can technically take them down faster if you're thinking damage-wise. So in things like Gambit, just going over the PvE side of that, it'd be alright to use against like those rank-and-file enemies, but I don't think it'd be good for taking out like blockers, especially like the large blocker. They're pretty tanky. High value targets, definitely very tanky. And the Primeval, it probably wouldn't do great damage to that either. So after using it in PvE, I feel like it doesn't feel as much of an exotic as it could be, if that makes sense. I needed to have something like Rampage, or like that ramp up feature like with Sweet Business, or even like the Breakneck, whatever his perk is, Onslaught, like something like that. Maybe not like do the Rampage, either do the Rampage part or do the ramp up part. Either one is fine. Just to reiterate, like, I'm not saying it's horrible for PvE, but in my opinion, I would like to see an improvement just to make it a little more viable. Going over the Crucible and PvP side of Gambit, it's not bad. Very situational though. As I said before, it's made to be a close quarters combat and short range weapon, so make sure not to use it for anything out of average auto rifle range. From what I gathered, it's made to be a cleanup weapon. Like, that's what it works really good at, but there's some skill needed with this weapon, like to make sure you can pedal back from aggressive style players that use shotguns. But like, again, I soon realized that this should be paired with something like a bow. Like, you could play the distance game, and then when they get too close, you can shred them down with the Cerberus. Plus, if they're rushing you, like, you can get a bow shot off, and then again, like I said, the Cerberus can clean them up pretty easily. So I believe this is where the Cerberus shines a little more versus in PvE, just because the perks can be utilized more effectively in a PvP setting. Like, yes, like having 4 bullets shoot erratically in PvE is great, fantastic. You can pump out some damage, but it's not as effective. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could get a Blast Furnace with Rampage and Feeding Frenzy, and it does way better. So, going over the PvP side of Gambit, I wouldn't suggest using it considering most of your engagements are at a distance, and this weapon isn't meant for that, as I said. And even if you, like, or an enemy invader gets, like, close enough, they'll end up probably using a shotgun to take you out anyway, so I don't see a lot of viability using this for the PvP side of Gambit. Going over some useful exotics and perks, I can't think of any prevalent exotics, but the Armamentarian Titan chest armor would be good for consistently loading this auto, considering the reload is fairly slow on it. Like, you'll just have constant ammo in the mag, which is pretty cool. So you'll also want auto rifle targeting, dexterity, unflinching, etc., to help out your gameplay, especially with this weapon in PvP. Going over my final thoughts, overall, this weapon performs well. Like, I think it performs okay. Obviously, in PvE, there's better weapons to use, And in PvP, like obviously it's almost like if you don't have a Dust Rock Blues, like this can almost take over. Plus you can hit people at a distance as well. But in my opinion, it needs to receive a buff to make it feel more exotic. If you want a weapon that's this, I'm not gonna lie, the weapon's pretty cool. But if you want a weapon like this to be able to stand out as an exotic, it's going to need something to actually make it feel more exotic than it already is. Now that we're at the end of the video, there's 3 things I want to tell you guys. So number 1, my clan, the D1 Fire Team, is looking for active players in the Destiny community. Our members play all sorts of activities from casual PvE and PvP to the endgame content like any of the raids, Shattered Throne, stuff like that. If you're actively playing Destiny 2 and want the benefits of a bigger clan, the link to join is below. We're multi-platform, so we have Xbox, PS4, and PC players. All you have to do is request to join, and myself or one of the admins will approve you. Number 2, if you'd like to know how to support me, there's a link below that says best way to support me. That'll take you to a 4-minute video. If you want to go check that out, that'd be awesome. But if you don't want to do that, you can always like this video, subscribe to the channel, share this video, and all that like content creator good jazz if you want to do that. Third thing, Discord. We have a link to the Discord below. Just a heads up, we're looking for anyone with moderator experience to potentially kind of run the Discord. It's not like super huge or anything like that, but for myself, I'm more of a player versus being a manager, you know, so I really don't know a lot about that stuff. But if you are someone who can be a moderator, awesome, just let me know. I know for myself, I'm on Xbox, but if any of you guys would like to talk to me or chat to me, Discord is going to be the best way to do that. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed this video. We'll catch you next time.